this Bitcoin maxi kid, Jack Mallers, right? We covered this clip of Tucker yesterday, essentially thinking he thinks Bitcoin is created by the CIA, so hence why he won't touch it with a 3-foot pole. And he's even saying, no, I'm gold. Everyone thinks I'm crazy for buying gold, but I don't think you're crazy, Tucker. I do think he's crazy on other things. He thinks the UFOs are like angels and demons. There's also some lady in Congress that believes that too. She took it on Joe Rogan. You talk about a psyop. But their whole argument is always when people bring up who is this Satoshi, even though, yet again, we know there's 4 of them out there somewhere. I don't know, man. If you still truly believe in the OG narrative Bitcoin, the Satoshi Nakamoto, he left it to the world, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Because if that was truly the case, they would have took it out by now. They would have snuffed that flame out. It either started off like that, like some soul dude Satoshi did create it, and then the government came in and took it over, or it's been a psyop. Well, not even a psyop. I guess it is a psyop because it seems like they're trying to just herd us all like lambs to the slaughter into this digital currency, and that's one of the things he's worrying about again, which I brought up in yesterday's video. The World Economic Forum, the security state, all those evil one world government people out there, they're still out there. So they need the plan to make this happen, and it almost seems like this is conspiracy theory crap, but it seems like they need the masses to need it or want it, and they don't even know they're walking into it. That's the only way I can kind of see. Some of these other countries, they're just whatever. They got a more vice grip on those governments or something, so they're just hammering that shit home. The 10 a.m. monster, it hits different. So this guy is basically saying, if you think knowing who created Bitcoin matters, you don't understand it. I mean, come on. Like, I don't even have words. Bitcoin is open source. Nobody has special rights, and everyone can verify that. It doesn't matter who created Bitcoin. Bitcoin is neutral technology like math. Okay. It's like if you're going to be ride or die about it to the point to hammer home you don't want anyone to know or get to the bottom of who created it, that seems like a big red flag. If you're actively combating someone wanting to know who made it, because why are you so afraid of them finding out if we ever did? I don't think we ever will officially. Why are you scared to find out? Because they always snuff it immediately when you raise that question. It doesn't matter. Well, hold on. I mean, it kind of matters. There's a wallet out there. That's Satoshi's wallet. There's a shit ton in it. Bitcoin takes up a ton of energy. There's like a bunch of valid questions around Bitcoin. And also the fact people don't even consider Tether. Tether has never had a financial audit. They've basically, I forget the term for it exactly, but they've basically only provided proof of their reserves or their collateral, like all they give such a brief upfront to just kind of like, okay, we showed it, go away. But they've never had a proper financial audit. So, I mean, this whole crypto market and Bitcoin specifically could be the biggest, not even conspiracy theory, it could be the biggest scam of all time. They could have pumped this price with invisible money, and we would never truly know unless we get a proper financial audit of it. So when these people come out and openly defend these valid questions, I mean, it kind of like, it doesn't seem like you're being, it doesn't seem like you actually want what's good for the world, potentially. You should question everything. So when there's someone so ride or die, like there's valid concerns about XRP. There's valid concerns about everything. There will always be people and their own biases and their own agendas. And yet again, you got to think realistically of how the world works. I'm sorry, we live in this reality, unfortunately, or fortunately. Like I said in one of my last videos, they're never going to beat the powers that be. They're never going to beat the banking cartel. And if the banking cartel ever saw the vice grips with getting us off the gold standard and being able to just print money endlessly, they know that time is coming. Like, they knew it was coming. So you think they weren't going to at least start developing or have a backup plan? Like, you don't think these people are playing 5D chess? Their sole responsibility is to keep their and their buddies' wealth maximized. They want to control everything. Like, I'm aware of, Ripple owns 40% of the supply. People try to say it's majority. It's not. I mean, 40 is a big chunk. But at the same time, I can acknowledge the escrow, to me, seems most likely pre-allocated to the powers that be, because you give us our cut and maybe we'll allow you to do what they do, or it's been the big banks the whole time from inception, deploying people, working this long plan. You got to entertain all possibilities. Doesn't mean I'm not going to invest in what I think is going to be the lottery winners. Of course I'm going to. But Bitcoin, to me, I think there's too many red flags. It doesn't mean I don't own Bitcoin. I own a little bit, because yet again, that's like the first thing people get introduced to. Which yet again, when you got CNBC parroting all day, shoving these things in your face, you have to ask why. You have to ask why. With how the big ripple moves, literally, the waves, it seems like they do not want your eyes on XRP, even though it's in our faces. It hit second market cap, and then you look at their response to that lawsuit. I mean, come on. If we're playing Monopoly, I'm the hat. Bitcoin is neutral technology, like math. But like that's just wrong. It's just wrong. What are you talking about? It's neutral technology like math. I think math is kind of a procedure of how you do things, of how you actually figure out the secrets to the universe. Bitcoin is a fucking made-up internet coin, essentially. I know it's deeper than that. I'm being hyperbolic. That its liquidity source is an offshore entity that created a stable coin with no official audit that the news is parroting everyday people to go into. Have we not learned anything over just the last handful of years that like you gotta question things a little bit, sometimes? DAI on top of it. Oh, it matters. If the 4 Satoshis were known, Bitcoin becomes a security pre-legislation. The fake commodity designation was all based on unknown founders. Yeah, the government, we're just going to give you a pass. We're going to give you a pass because we don't know who it is. We're not going to get to the bottom of it and find out who made it. That stinks. Stinks to the highest heaven imaginable. This was huge news, though. T. Rowe Price just filed for an active crypto ETF. They are in the top 5 active managers by assets, mostly mutual funds. I believe it said they manage around 1.8 trillion. 1.8 with a T. When you see the T after the number, now we're talking big money, because millions in this kind of space is kind of peanuts. We need that trillions, and we know that trillions is coming. Are you kidding? Don't have official confirmation if it's spot or not, but yet again, these are still good for the industry. These people are clueless. Perhaps you need to grok the concept of open source. Who created gold? Does it matter, or does the fact it has a verifiable molecular structure satisfy investors? What? I'm glad people call this out. God created gold. Satoshi isn't God. He isn't even a real person. That's what I'm saying, bro. Someone did the translation, too, for what Satoshi Nakamoto meant in a different language, and it was something crazy that, it seems like they're just trolling us at that point. What are they talking about? Fucking gold being an open source. What are you talking about, dude? It's a commodity. It's a physical commodity they use for things. If Bitcoin was the only crypto out there, then I would say it's much more likely to solidify its place. But the fact that we're now approaching the free market, because that and Ethereum have had regulatory passes for all this time, I don't see how eventually it doesn't get taken out. It's easy for Maxis to dismiss Tucker Carlson's Bitcoin comments as clueless, but his point is one shared by many. Most people won't invest in something whose creator is unknown. Whenever I speak to people outside crypto, this is one of the first questions they ask: who created Bitcoin? That's a rightful question. Like the average normie, if you started telling someone, that's a reasonable question, and they'd probably just assume it's like a company. Oh, like a company created Bitcoin. Well, it's a lot more complicated than that, but the news doesn't want to go into any of those details. They want to steer as far away as possible about it for some reason. Just even take Michael Saylor. He's the poster boy for Bitcoin. One, he doesn't seem like he's playing with a full deck of cards at all. The whole business model he's building this on, buying Bitcoin through debt, screams Ponzi scheme beyond belief. Most people here are used to the idea that no one knows who created Bitcoin. But if you really stop and think about it, it's pretty odd. It's very odd. When was the last time you invested your money in a company or stock even though you didn't know who created it / runs it? I think that's the normal person perspective. Dude, I'm telling you. When you look at internet communities, especially the Bitcoin community, I don't get it. I don't get it. Yet again, I don't know how many times I got to reiterate this. Doesn't mean I don't think Bitcoin will do well. I think it will do well because I think the governments are behind, or the government, or governments plural. Who knows? Who knows who's actually behind it? That's the thing. We don't know the motive. What is the motive to drive the Bitcoin price as high as we can get it? Is it to pay off the U.S. government debt? Seems pretty like if we're just playing guessing games here, if we're playing Clue. Who is this guy? Dave W. 30,000 followers. Former chairman at coinroutes.com. All opinions are my own and do not constitute investment advice. Thank God. Bitcoin for saving and crypto for markets. Dude, I cannot stand that they try to classify the two as completely different things. They keep moving the goalpost because they need to keep it. They need to keep the what's it called, the perception of it a very certain way, or else it collapses. So now they in recent years, and more so now, they're trying to say no, Bitcoin is its own thing, and then there's the rest of crypto. Is Bitcoin not a crypto? We have Jack Dorsey saying that, tweeting shit like that the other day too. It's very odd. I will say though, what he did with Square and implementing so that people, the Square, like when you go to retail and you scan your card on it, allowing them to convert in Bitcoin and out of it in real time and no fees for the first year, that's a good business plan. I will say that's a very good implementation of it. That's the type of shit you would need because it's not used. Same thing with XRP and everything. Like all stable coins are definitely picking up traction. That's the vehicle to get people to move it. It's not the native tokens necessarily. They're like the underlying infrastructure. There's just a lot of odd news coming out today, bro. It's so convenient. Here we go. Google unveils major quantum computing breakthrough. Its new algorithm is running 13,000 times faster than world's best supercomputer. Google says this clears the path for useful applications of quantum technology within 5 years. Bitcoin has to stay ahead of this. That was always one of the other things I always heard about Bitcoin that they dismiss. Don't worry about it. Quantum computing. Apparently, this is way beyond my pay grade. This is one of the avenues I've never fully explored, but I believed it. The problem with this quantum computing argument, though, is that I'm pretty sure if they achieve this, all crypto is kind of doomed, but they've always said it more so about Bitcoin. I think in general, yet again, unless they're in front of it, which, I mean, you'd hope they are, I think it takes down everything. Thought this was a chandelier. Guys, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, hit that notification. Let me know what you think about all this stuff. People get so triggered when you even raise these questions. Dude, we're all trying to get to the actual truth, or at least just transparency, and then make up our own mind about what to do. We're all trying to make a buck, you know? I mean, so being tribal about one or the other to protect your bags doesn't seem great. You might want to adjust your investment strategy to try to maximize profit instead of just like treating it like a religion. Unfortunately, some people do. That's it. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next one.